What's up? How goes your guys' Sunday night? Haven't I don't know what's going on. I don't know. We'll see if it's lagging, then we just won't stream tonight. 'Cause I can't really fix lagging. I don't know if it's on my end or you. It shouldn't be on my end. My internet's going fine, so I don't know. But yeah, if it's lagging, then I noticed it too, and I was trying to play up my own stream, so I don't know. What's up, Nick? Kitty, Lovely, I'm a Weird, Dakota, Darkish Newt, Eric, Coco. Let's see, Alaskan Gold Rush. Tyler, Brady Codner, what's up, brother? Too much porn? I guess. Alright, let's see here. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing is there's lag. I don't know why. See, you're not getting any lag at all, Brady? I noticed when I pulled up on my phone that it was doing that. It was like I couldn't even pause the video on my phone. So I was going to get the link out to Twitter, but I've never had this issue before in my life. I don't know, but it's YouTube, so I don't know. See, that's what. Yeah, see, yeah, it must be a YouTube thing. If some of you are having lag and some aren't, that must be a YouTube thing. I don't know. That's weird. You're in your car and there's still no lag. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know. It's weird. YouTube's dumb. Hacker voice. Fuck, he's in the system. What are you up to these days, Brady? We'll wait. We'll give it a good few minutes here before we start watching any videos. That way we can kind of assess what we're dealing with here and let some people join in. Been missing out on the streams. We had a good one Wednesday with Ryan Tremblay. He joined in and we did some cryptid quizzes and stuff like that. Do I see a ghost over there? I wish. Just getting off work. Nice, nice. I gotta go back to work tomorrow. I've had this. Today's the final day of my vacation. Which I don't mind, but I will miss the sleeping in a little bit. That was nice. I'm pretty tired right now, I'm not gonna lie. I'm feeling really fucking just worn down for some reason. I didn't do jack shit today. Once I got some more beers in me. Well, the problem is I started day drinking at noon for football. And then I took a break. I ate some food at supper time, so I quit drinking around supper time, then I started drinking just now again. It's probably why I'm feeling tired. 6 to 6 shift? Gross. That's gross. Get some videos queued up here. There is no Nuke's Top 5. We've pretty much exhausted all our options at Scare Theater, unless he's posting something new. What's up, Crispy? You'll have to let me know, Crispy, if you're experiencing any lag on your end. It seems like half the chat is experiencing some lag and half isn't, so I'm curious to know what you're seeing over there. Some chills. I was thinking either some slapped ham or we could go through some scary theater. Like there is top 5 disturbing broadcasts, disturbing final images. We could go through some of those. It's interesting you bring that up, Dusty, because I wonder how many people that are watching on their phone that are having issues with lagging. Or I wonder, a better question would be, is anyone that's experiencing lagging on their phone? Because when I was on my phone, it was doing that. So I don't know. But I know Brady's on his phone. He's not having any issues, so that's weird. Try Lazy Masquade. He's kind of decent. I see. I've never heard of that name. You're on a computer and you're not lagging? Nice. Yours is lagging on your phone? Oh. Yeah, mine was... I'd pulled mine up on my phone to try to get the link for the Twitter, and I just gave up. It was pissing me off. Because I couldn't even pause the damn thing. It just kept fucking... What's this? Lazy Masquerde?
Brianna's disappearance to another case.
Okay. Let me check out this guy. I'm looking for more stories on UFO, cryptid, and paranormal. I'm just scanning through, seeing if he has anything like that. Welcome, lovely. Who else did I miss? White Chocolate, welcome. And I don't know if I missed anyone else. I can't remember. If I missed you, Journey Cat, welcome, Journey Cat. I know I've seen you you've been in here for a second or two. I think we'll start out with a couple scare theater ones to kick it off. We'll give it another couple minutes and then we'll start. Keeping an eye on my fantasy team. I got my TV on in my living room, or my bedroom, so keeping track of my fantasy players. How's Serena? I haven't talked to Serena in a couple days. I think she's alive. Beyond Creepy. That's the YouTube channel, Beyond Creepy. Is it called... It's just Beyond Creepy? Beyond Creepy. Interesting. Okay. We'll have to check this one out. Okay, we got Lazy Masquerde, I can't even say that, and Beyond Creepy. We got those queued up as well. We're gonna do a couple of 2 or 3 scare theater ones to start it off, like I said, and then we'll switch over to those. It's nice to have new channels and new fresh content, so it does help. So we'll test them out and see how they go. I think we're ready to start. You guys nervous? Well, I gotta beat my cat 1 second. I'm gonna start this video and then I gotta go beat my cat. She keeps flipping the cupboard open in the kitchen. I can just keeps doing it over and over. It's dumb. Also, remind me to tell you guys about some paranormal activity possible. Probably not, but it seemed like it in my apartment like 2 nights ago. So just let me know, or remind me. I mean, but for now. flag on your head?
Hi, I'm Johnny Quasar, and this is my robot dog, Goddard.
What the fuck? I'm leaving. Goodbye.
Canal Cinco, or Channel 5, is a Mexican television station that's been running since the 50s. The station's target audience is mainly aimed at children, broadcasting shows bought from Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon. Despite this station being one aimed toward a younger audience, they have been making some disturbing social media posts that have gone unexplained. On the official Channel 5 Twitter page, their posts are all ordinary, except for when the late hours of the night roll around, typically around 3 o'clock in the morning. They will post unnerving videos, only to remove them before dawn. Many of the witnesses of these videos have been able to grab recordings of them before they were removed. Here are a few.
I feel like they're trying to give me like a fucking seizure.
Since this began, the Mexican media has been all over this, trying to figure out what is going on. Mexican news site Infobay Mexico contacted one of the collaborators of Channel 5, who claimed they didn't know anything about this.
Yeah, we'll
The
test it out,
rabbit hole
Alaska,
seems
and
to
see
go
how it
deeper
is.
than just
Texas
a few
Panhandle.
unsettling videos, however.
You're
In one
gonna
of these
change your
Twitter
name back one of
posts,
these days, boy.
the video is accompanied by the text, Selena.
So, wait, what? Hold on. Serena? Is that what I heard? Serena? Serena. Oh my god. I fucking knew she was behind this shit, dog. Fucking, we need to get Serena. If she joins this chat, get on her dick about this. Fucking let her know that she's behind some spooky ass shit. Alright? Just start yelling at her for shit. Yeah. Selena, aka Serena. We all know. It's her cover's blown. We're gonna have to fucking get on her ass about this shit.
Selena.
Unbelievable. Fuck. Unbelievable. What in the fuck am I watching?
Many people believe that Selena is a reference to a disturbing broadcast on Channel 5 that occurred 20 years ago.
Pedimos ayuda para localizar a Víctor Gama Tavera,
What's up,
de 20
Colin?
años de edad.
In the earlier days of
I got
Channel
you, brother.
5, between programs, they would interrupt with a community service broadcast. It was sort of like
I
an
thought she was
Amber
better
Alert,
than this.
and would broadcast information about missing people in hopes that a citizen could bring useful information about them to the police. Nothing was ever particularly creepy about the broadcast. It was just a bit dark for the children that saw it. They would regularly be pulled out of the happy world of whatever show they were watching and be plunged back into a cold reality. One particular broadcast that stuck with a lot of kids for some reason was the one that mentioned Selena Delgado Lopez.
Selena Delgado López, de 18 años, se extravió el 22 de abril.
For whatever reason, this image unsettled the minds of many children, which later sparked some interesting theories about Selena. Many people started to suspect that Selena wasn't even a real person, mainly referencing the fact that her photograph was so poor quality and that the facial features seemed generic enough to be computer generated. This, accompanied with the fact that no one could find any public
I'm doing good,
record of
Colin. How about
Selena
you?
Delgado Lopez, quickly turned this into a well-known Mexican urban legend. Even today,
I just
there
text
are
Serena,
creepy
so if
hoax
she
videos
joins the
people
chat,
create to help the legend
start giving her
live on.
shit.
28 de mayo del año 2000. Cualquier información, favor de comunicarse a los teléfonos de canal.
I'm still not sure why Selena was the image in this broadcast that started up an urban legend, and not any of the other poor quality faces included in the broadcast, like Pamela Martinez or Manuel Rosas. Regardless, You can see how Channel 5 referencing this legend in their creepy posts brought even more attention. Now, one thing I want to point out that I'm sure you've already noticed is that these disconcerting videos that Channel 5 is posting weren't actually made by Channel 5, but are actually just re-uploads of weird videos that have been on the internet for a while now. The most obvious of which is this one.
Time for lunch, munch, munch. Time for a munch, crunch, crunch. Munch, munch, crunch, crunch. Munchy, munchy, crunchy, crunchy.
I'm
Bro,
sure
what
most
the
of
fuck?
you recognize that this is Michael Rosen from the kids'
Bro, what the fuck is... What are we watching? What is this? What the fuck is this?
Poems and Stories YouTube channel.
Time for lunch, munch, munch. Time for a munch, crunch, crunch. Munch, munch, crunch, crunch.
With very little searching, you will easily find the sources of all of these videos.
I gave you a home. Now you live here.
You like them?
I mean, they're not even... They're weird, but they're not scary. They're not creepy, even. I actually found one. The problem is, like, I'll be scrolling through Instagram sometimes, and I'll see a video, and it's like a scary video. And I don't know if I could be able to find it or whatnot, but, God, maybe it was on Twitter. It was either... no, it was on Instagram. But I can't remember who posted it, but... It was like, it had the music from, the Tiptoe Through the... Tiptoe Through the... You know, the Tulips. Tiptoe Through the Tulips song. Had that song playing from, I forget what movie it was from. But anyways, that was playing in the background. It's this chick, and it was like it looked legit to me. She was standing in front of her. She was saying how her house is haunted. And she was standing in front of her bedroom door, and she kept flicking the light on and off. And then she was like looking around, waiting for something to move, but nothing moved. So she fucking went to walk to the camera to shut it off. And then when she turned the light off to the room, there was a face, like just barely visible, a fucking face, just staring there, like looking around the corner at her. But when you rewatch the video, because it like loops, it'll start with the light on, and there's nothing there. Or it'll start with the light off, and there's nothing there. And then she'll turn the light on, there's still nothing there. So, like, there's something definitely there. It was fucking scary. I wish I could show that to you. But now you just have to imagine it with your brains.
So what exactly is the purpose of Channel 5 doing all this? Although...
Yeah, I don't know. I don't care. Didn't ask. Disturbing final images sounds way better.
This was the final image taken of Travis Alexander before he was murdered by his ex-girlfriend, Jodi Arias. Travis and Jodi began dating in 2007, and for a little over a year, had an on and off relationship. The relationship ended with Jodi suspecting him having an affair, and then breaking up with him. In June of 2008, she called Travis and asked to come over to his house. Upon arrival, they had intercourse in the shower, and both took erotic pictures of each other. After taking this image, she stabbed him 27 times and shot him in the head, and then proceeded to take more pictures of his corpse. On June 9th, his body was found in his home, and an investigation began. It didn't take long for the police to suspect Jodi. Only a week after the body was discovered, Jodi was arrested for homicide.
Were you at Travis's house on Wednesday?
Absolutely not. I was nowhere near Mesa. I was nowhere near Phoenix.
What if I could show you proof you were there?
During the police interrogation, she claimed she was totally innocent, despite all the evidence they had against her.
Your blood is in the house, mixed with his. Mixed. Not alongside, but mixed. Your hair is there with blood. And your palm print is there in blood. It's over.
Dude, I have like a legit fascination with murderers and like serial killers. Just the other night, I was watching, obviously Ted Bundy, and like, Ted Bundy's one of the most interesting ones ever. And, my brain can't think of the guy's name, even though I heard it a million times. The cannibal motherfucker. What the fuck? What? Ted Bundy and fucking the fucking guy that do that like little boys. Cannibal motherfucker, creepiest one of all time. Jeffrey Dahmer. Yes, thank you. God damn it. Literally, I don't know why I can't think of his name. Anyways, I watched a documentary on those two motherfuckers, and the way that they like think is very interesting, and how they like committed their murders, and it's fucking just the way people think when they're killing someone is fascinating. How you could even get to that point of like planning out murders. And his first kill was, or for Jeffrey Dahmer, anyways, was luring a guy, hitchhiker off the fucking road into his house. And he was like fucking 13, 14 or something like that, or some young age, and fucking hits him upside the back of the head while they're having a drink, and then kills him, and then cuts off his fucking dick and fucking puts it in a box with like another limb or something, or heart maybe or something, and puts it in his room. And it's just fucking weird, dude. Like, and like to stab someone like that many times, it's different when you shoot someone, because it's more of like an impulse. It's not like a rage murder. It's just like a fucking, it's still murder, but it's not as planned out or fucking violent. You know what I mean? Like stabbing someone like 27 times is fucking weird. That's just like, I can't even comprehend like how you could, at some point you'd be like, oh, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. Oh, no, they just don't give a fuck.
As the interrogation continues, she starts crying
Dill's pet
and
Stinky
becomes
for a hug.
distressed while still maintaining her innocence.
Fuck you,
Oddly
Dill's pet
enough,
Stinky for a hug.
the moment the cop leaves the room, it's like a switch flips.
Looks like a beret. Oh, that is a rifle, yeah.
She starts singing,
It's from
doing
space.
handstands, and even laughing. It's really odd behavior.
What? Bro, like, if you know you got a murderer in there, she's doing handstands and singing, that's some...
Here. As the trial went on, and it became evident that she was at Travis's home the day he was murdered, she changed up her story to the media. Her news story was that, while she was at his house, 2 people wearing masks broke in, and she was able to escape, but Travis wasn't.
I couldn't pick them out in a police lineup.
So what happened?
They came into his home and attacked us both.
For some reason, she was really confident that people would believe a story this stupid.
No jury is going to convict me.
Why not?
Because I'm innocent, and you can mark my words on that one. No jury will convict me.
Obviously, no one bought that, so the story changed again. In court, she finally admitted that she did kill him, but said that it was in self-defense, and that Travis had abused her. Because, stabbing someone 27 times and putting a bullet through their brain totally is an excessive force. As you'd expect, she was found guilty and sentenced to life in prison.
It's one thing to kill someone, right? That's a whole level fucked up. Then to take pictures of their dead body after you mutilated it, that's a whole nother level of fucked up. That's a whole nother, because those all get released. And what the fuck is this picture? I don't know what that is, but that is... It looks like Serena, kind of, but I'm not sure, to be honest. I don't know if that's her. Or if it's something else. I'm not sure. Where's Paco? Paco... Oh, shit.
This one looks like an image straight out of a creepypasta.
This motherfucker plays my goddamn intro music in the background of his videos, and it angers me.
But this is actually a real image. Although, not exactly a final image, I felt this deserved to be covered. In the late 1800s, there lived a wealthy family in France by the name of the Meuniers. They were very well respected by everyone and known for their charity work. One day, Miss Meunier's daughter, Blanche, suddenly went missing without a trace. After a while, most people lost interest in what happened, and life continued on as usual. Blanche Meunier was missing for nearly 25 years before she was finally discovered. In 1901, the Attorney General of Paris received an anonymous letter describing details of things going on in the Meunier household. The police went to the Meunier residence to investigate and noticed a wretched odor coming from a room upstairs. What they found was a pitch-black room with an odor so bad they had to immediately break open one of the boarded-up windows. Once the room was lit with sunlight, they saw an emaciated woman chained to the bed, covered in scraps of food, excrement, and pests. She was immediately taken to the hospital, and her mother was put under arrest. 25 years prior to this, Blanche fell in love with a lower-class lawyer, which her mother didn't approve of. After Blanche refused to stay away from this man, her mother decided to lock her in a room to prevent her from seeing him. For 25 years, she had been locked in that room, tied to that bed, unable to get up to even go to the bathroom. I can't even imagine how torturous that must have been.
Isn't it like at one point during these 25 years, and I don't care like what your mental capacity is, isn't there like surely at one point in those 25 years you're like, maybe I should escape. Maybe this sucks. Maybe, you know, and even if you don't know any better, it's still like you're still, just because you don't know any better, it's like doesn't mean you're comfortable with it. You know what I mean? Like maybe I should just fucking leave. You know, you couldn't chain me up. You couldn't fucking tie me down. You couldn't fucking lock me in a fucking prison vault. I'd find a way out. I always do. That's why I always carry a flash drive around with me, because no one wants to mess with a person with a flash drive. Nobody knows it's on his flashlight, but me. Just a little tip. Keep that in your... roll that around your brain.
The public outrage was so bad that an angry mob congregated outside the Monnier residence, resulting in Miss Monnier having a heart attack. What goes around comes around, I guess. Unfortunately, Blanche didn't really get a happy ending. The psychological damage she suffered from was so bad that she lived the rest of her life in an asylum, dying 12 years later. This was the final image taken of Regina K.
Everybody
Walters
cares about a flash
before
drive,
she was
guy.
murdered by the
What's up, Big
notorious
Cole?
serial
Big
killer
Cole?
Robert Ben Rhodes. Rhodes began his killings in the 70s, preying on hitchhikers and sex workers. Of all his victims, Regina is the most well-known because of the disturbing images he took of her. Regina Walters was only 14 years old at the time of her death. Her and her boyfriend, Ricky Lee Jones, decided to run away from home together in Texas. While on the road, they decided to hitchhike, where they were picked up by Robert Rhodes. Rhodes first killed Ricky, but had much worse plans for Regina. The full details of what happened to Regina are unknown, but before killing her,
what
he brought
is
her out
up?
to an
The
old barn
what?
and took a
How is
series
it
of
going?
pictures
Welcome.
of her.
Also, welcome,
He cut
Kitty.
her hair and made her wear a black dress and heels for the later photos.
Hell yeah, Dakota. I did post a new green screen video, so if you need a link to it, let me know.
This was the final picture he took of her before killing her. On April 1st, 1990, Rhodes was pulled over by an officer on the highway who discovered a woman handcuffed and screaming inside the car. He was arrested and is now serving life in prison.
So that woman survived then, I assume, or what? Weird. Project Bluebeam? I'm just curious about this one. I want to see what this is. I'm trying to think if this is the Elon Musk thing or not.
This video is sponsored by ExpressVPN.
Oh, you'll need a computer to do the
in
green
the
screen
digital era
videos.
we live in, our privacy is always at risk.
Unfortunately.
ExpressVPN
I
is
mean,
here to mitigate that
yeah,
risk.
I think you would have to.
When you send information through an unencrypted
What's up,
connection,
Long brother?
your data can be monitored and collected by your ISP, the government, or really anyone with basic computer knowledge. And this data is constantly being used against us.
My fucking brain. Elon Musk's fucking company, the SpaceX, the satellites that they were putting up in orbit looked like a fucking alien spaceship or some shit, and a lot of people were thinking it was a UFO, but it was actually just SpaceX deploying satellites or whatever. So I wonder if that's what that was.
ExpressVPN will encrypt your internet connection
Yeah,
using
Colin,
the
you
highest
should.
standards
You
of
should.
encryption currently available.
You weren't bad at it,
keeping
my
your
man.
data
You had some
secure
talent.
and hiding your IP address so no governing entity will be able to monitor what you're doing. I've used ExpressVPN in the past when I needed to access a video blocked in the US so I could reroute my connection through to a server in a different country. You can get 3 months of ExpressVPN for free. This concept isn't unique to conspiracy theories, however. There's plenty of literature throughout history warning of such an occurrence, such as Orwell's 1984. All in all, it's not like this type of thing doesn't already happen. This theory takes that notion to a much different level.
I got you, Ashers. Sergey.
This video has been popping up, warning that a conspiracy from back in the 90s called Project Bluebeam has finally reached its year of fruition. As just a brief overview, the Project Bluebeam conspiracy states that NASA is planning on projecting a large image into the skies at different locations around the globe. The goal is to deceive the planet into believing in a new global religion. Some people seem to be pointing to other instances of unexplained sky anomalies as evidence that this type of technology has already been tested. We'll go more in depth with these a bit later. This theory began in 1994 when an established Canadian journalist named Sergey Monast started focusing his work on something different from his usual publications. His claim was that NASA was going to attempt to implement a New Age religion with the Antichrist at its head by creating a worldwide simulation of the Second Coming. The following 2 years after Monast lectured on this topic, he became very paranoid, claiming he was being hunted by the authorities. His children, whom he homeschooled, were taken away from him in 1996 so they could receive public education. Shortly afterward, he was arrested and spent a night in prison, and the following day, he died from a heart attack. This, in combination with rumors of another unnamed journalist working on this dying from a heart attack that same year, makes proponents of this theory believe they were assassinated by the government.
You've been investigating these sky
keep
anomalies?
this all under wraps.
Anomalies?
In which case, that would have been pretty useless because we're talking about it right now. Project Bluebeam was said to have 4 steps. Step 1 was the breakdown of all archaeological knowledge to set the stage. This stage involves staging earthquakes at various locations around the world, and at all their locations, planting evidence that would prove all other major religions wrong. According to Monast, this falsification already began with the films Space Odyssey, Star Trek, Star Wars, and E.T. to push the ideas of space invasions. He even said the film Jurassic Park was created as a way to push the theory of evolution. Step 2 is the most widely talked about part of the theory.
I don't know about that.
In this stage, holographic lasers will be used to beam projections in the sky all over the world of whatever god is most predominant in that area. The god will announce themselves, speaking every language, and then at the end of their performance, every god will come together as one. Step 3 is to use low-frequency rays from satellites that will be used to telepathically communicate with everyone, making them believe that this god is talking to them from their own souls. I'm sure you're all seeing how ridiculous this is right now.
Yeah.
And it only gets worse. Step 4, the final stage, is to make all of mankind believe that an alien invasion is about to take place in every major city. The purpose of this is to make every nation strike back with nuclear weapons, eventually creating complete chaos. In addition to this, they will try to convince the Christians that the rapture is about to happen. In the midst of all this anarchy, people will be desperate to accept the New World Order to restore peace to the world.
Simple, you either do one of two things. You call the Avengers in, okay, or you call Big Dill. I'll come down there to whatever major city you need me at with my fucking helicopter, with my combat stick, and that's all you need, okay? I don't care which god you're going up against. Put me up against any of them. I'll beat their asses, straight up. Oh, wait, it's not done yet. But every time he says Project Bluebeam, which I've never heard about. I've never actually heard about the Project Bluebeam. It just reminds me, every time he says it, it's Project Blue Book. Project Blue Book. Call Serena. I think she's doing homework right now. I think.
Many proponents of Project Bluebeam like to reference unexplained sky anomalies as tests of this technology already being implemented. The most popular example of this is the 2009 Norwegian spiral anomaly. On the morning of December 9th, 2009 in Norway, many of the residents witnessed a strange spectacle. A blue beam appeared to shoot
Yeah,
up
this
into the
is what
morning
I'm talking
sky,
about, Ash.
and at its peak, turned into a giant, miles-wide spiral. The spiral was able to be witnessed all throughout northern Norway and Sweden, and there were many videos of it from awestruck people that day. The event lasted about 10 minutes.
Just because
and then the spiral
she's
appeared
here
to be
every
swallowed
stream,
from
I
inside
give the
out by
mod based
darkness.
off of consistency showing up to streams, not
Immediately,
like how long
it started
you've been
getting
here or
media
whatever.
attention and speculation from everyone.
Colin, you'll be a mod
Yesterday
here
morning,
soon.
just before
I
dawn,
promise.
this appeared in the Norwegian sky. A blue light, small at first, growing into a spiral, and then disappearing into what appeared to be a black hole.
Of course, there were the tinfoilers that cried aliens
Maybe I'll make you
were
a stream,
responsible
mod
for
this stream, Colin.
while others thought they had witnessed a black hole. Meteorologists looked into this and concluded that no natural phenomenon could have caused a shape as precise as this. They suspected it may have been a Russian missile test. This would make sense, as there are other videos of failed missile tests that do create very similar spiral patterns. Russia initially denied this, but the following day issued a statement saying they did test a missile that failed that day, making this the likely explanation. Similar things have happened numerous times in China, Russia, and Australia. Some people just want to make some things more exciting than they really are. Project Bluebeam warns us of an oppressive government using advanced technology to deceive the masses. While this scenario depicted in this theory may be unrealistic, the main premise is very real. There are all kinds of ways to easily be manipulated through technology right now. Dr. George Papkun is a scientist who studies voice morphing technology, and this demonstration perfectly shows how easy it is to deceive. He took this voice sample from this woman.
If I ever see
everyone
you,
wants to be
Stinky Frog, I will
optimistic.
squish you.
When you hear of a tragedy, you want to think that
And turned it into this.
Look, I made her say this.
I think everyone wants to disappear and vanish.
Oh my god.
This, in combination with deepfake technology, where you can easily pretend to be literally anyone you want to, could easily be abused.
President Trump is a total and complete dipshit. Stay woke.
Even the
No,
technology
Asher's hit dead.
described
It's
as
just
Project
it's
Bluebeam
YouTube's new dumb
isn't that
thing that
far
when you
off
create a
from
stream,
where
it
we're
just
at right now.
it takes
In
the title of the
1990,
last stream automatically.
After
So it
Saddam
changes
Hussein
it. It's so
invaded
dumb.
Kuwait, the U.S. needed to take him down. A senior Air Force officer suggested projecting a holographic image of Allah floating over Baghdad to encourage people of Iraq to rise against Hussein. A military physicist was tasked with looking into how realistic this was. They found that this was something that could actually plausibly be done. However, they never pursued it because the costs were too high.
If you think about it, though, that would be really smart to just trick the people like that, because it'd be kind of shady to use that against them. But it would be smart. It would, like, turn your own army against you. It would be like, whoa. They're all about, like, fucking afterlife there and religion. Like, they take that shit very, very seriously. So, it came down to your boss or your entire belief system. I think you're going to go with your entire belief system. They all kill their fucking leader. And then you just let them do the work for you.
All in all, this idea of global deception through a hologram is a completely ridiculous idea, but mass spread deception is much more common and simple than you may think. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the flip side.
I would like to try this hologram theory. Subscribe to Big Dill, otherwise the rapture is coming. There is actually, I wish I could show it. There was actually a cool game on Tinder. Like, Tinder actually has a game. It's basically like a little mini movie that you get to watch on Tinder, but it's like you're at a party, and there's all the drama going down or whatever, and it's kind of like, it reminds me of, like, what the fuck is the movie called? It's kind of like, it's like an end of the world movie, but I can't remember what I'm trying to think of. But there's a meteor shower supposed to be coming really close to Earth, or a comet. A comet's supposed to be coming towards Earth, and it's supposed to miss. But at like 10 o'clock at night, everyone's supposed to go out and watch it because it's supposed to be like the closest a comet's ever come to Earth. So they're all at this party, and they finally get out, or they get the notification it's coming. So they go outside, and you can see the comet coming. Like, it's been in the sky, like it looks like a moon basically coming towards Earth, and it's not moving in the sky much because it's so big that from thousands of miles away you can see it or whatever. So finally it's getting there, and then it like it like explodes or something, like the ground starts shaking or whatever, and then the fucking everyone's like, wow, that's weird, is it supposed to be doing that? And then the national emergency alerts go off on the phones. It's like it's gonna impact Earth, and so everyone's phones goes off and they go scramble in the streets, and it's actually pretty fucking entertaining. I don't know if everyone's played it yet, if anyone's got Tinder, but it's like that's kind of like what I remind me of the Rapture, something coming down from the sky and it's just making chaos. It's only episode 1, so I got to see it. You have to beat Eli Buckmaster in a donation order to be mod. Yeah, it's a good game on Tinder. So, like, the game part of it comes in when, like, you have to swipe right or left on, like, there's a scene where, like, you're, like, the person that's holding the camera. Like, you're the camera person, kind of, like, I don't know. Like, or you holding your phone is, like, the eyes of the person you're controlling. But it's like a real movie or skit or whatever. It's not like a video game. But it's like you swipe left to do one option or right to do the other option. That determines the outcome of the video. So, like, there's one scene where you have to either save a dog or go with your buddy. And I went with the dog because it was a chick's dog. And I was like, she's hot. Obviously I'm going to go save her dog. Yeah, there's a bunch of... And then at the end, you fucking match with people that made the same decisions. That's stupid, but... Hell yeah, I use Tinder. That's right. Let's see what else we can find. If I look over this lazy Moscatas guy. Scariest folklore creatures. Ooh, they are kind of long. Real? Do you guys want to watch something? It's only 17 minutes long, but it's a real humanoid encounter stories. We could either watch this one, which I'll queue it up. So let me know if you guys would rather watch this one, or if you'd like to watch something from like Dogman of the UFO, or both. Dogman of the UFO I got queued up, which is from Beyond Creepy, and then 3 real humanoid encounters, or both. Let me know. Top 10 cryptid videos. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to do another top 10 cryptid videos. They've all done pretty fucking well. Decently well, at least. Of course, still has Tinder. Yeah, fuck yeah, man, I'm single. You think I'm just going to sit around and not use Tinder? I mean, I meet a lot of people off Tinder. Ash says both. That's who you met, Paco? Yeah, he was on Tinder. He was just a lonely alien. I said, I'll give you a place to live. So now he's my roommate. He just sits there. Oh, react to them? Yeah, I'm drunk. All I see when I'm being honest is Masquerade or something like that. I can't say that when I'm intoxicated. It's not possible. Alright, both it is. Alright. 3 scary, real humanoid encounters. I hope one of them is a frogman. Colin Henry, you were saved by a frogman. You should hope there is a frogman in here. Alright.
Growing up in the mountains of North Georgia, camping and hiking were things my brother and me did so often it became second nature. Any time Ryan and I had a break from school, we'd head out straight.
Side note, I have heard this voice from another channel somewhere. I don't know where, but this guy I've heard from a different channel. I recognize his voice, I'm just saying, but I already like this fucking guy.
Deep for the woods. We packed our gear, let our parents know where we were going, and that was that.
Yeah, exactly, Asher. It's an internet world. We don't go on real dates anymore. I mean, you can, but you don't. That's not how you meet
River Trail in Cohata Wilderness, and it's a trail we knew fairly well, since we'd used it a few times before to practice long hikes. We arrived at the trailhead around lunchtime, parked the car, got out our gear, and headed into the woods.
Colin, you're the only person that survived the fucking being in one of my stories, just so you know. And I know Coco technically did, but he always got something horrible happen to him, so...
We passed a few hikers as we moved along, and asked them how the trail looked, and the answer was always the same. Wet. Jack's River Trail probably crossed the river 50 times.
Welcome to the stream, Revelation Files.
17-mile journey.
Happy to have you here, brother.
With the
Hope
temperatures
you're doing
of
well.
late fall setting in, it was harder for the trail to stay dry. We moved deeper into the trail and started to look for a place to make camp. This is where Ryan and I made our first mistake.
Make another
You see,
story?
Me and Ryan
I
have
need
this
to.
rule. We don't camp near people if at all possible. Call us paranoid, but the last thing we
No,
want
Everett, I don't
is for
think you were.
someone to drag us out of our tents
don't think
and
so.
into the woods and never to be seen again.
Unless you had an old name
So
that I...
we
you
always
changed- I don't know.
camped a pretty decent ways off the trail, and in the area that wasn't popular with overnight camping. After roughly 2.5 hours or so, we found what we thought was the perfect place to set up for the 2 nights that we'd be out. We came up to Horseshoe Bend and ventured about half a mile off the trail into a clearing and set up. We built a teepee fire lay for that night. After setting up
Can't
and
cliffhanger
unloading,
us.
we decided to walk back to the trail and go exploring
I have the
around
next
many
story
of the
written.
swimming holes Jack's River had to offer. This was during Thanksgiving break, and I remember being surprised at how few people were on the trail. Maybe it was the weather, or the fact that this was early in the week, but there didn't seem to be anyone hiking, much less staying the night. Around 5 o'clock, Ryan and I headed back to our camp to start our fire, make dinner, and settle in for the night.
I actually didn't pick who's going to be in it yet,
As
to be
soon
honest.
as the sun began to set, the cold
It's not
rushed
fully
in.
written, but it's pretty much written.
We added more wood to the fire, sat close, and just enjoyed conversation. Ryan was 2 years behind me in school. I was a senior and he was a sophomore, but growing up, we had always been close. We always hung out in the same groups, played the same sports, had the same hobbies.
Possibly.
Around 9 p.m, we're settling comfortably around the fire. I had just texted our mum to let her know we were safe and settling down. And I remember we were talking about dreading going to our grandparents' house for Thanksgiving, when things started getting strange. We were no strangers to sounds in the woods, and these woods were full of animals, from deer to black bears, and even the random wild boar. If you're in the woods enough, you learn to distinguish certain sounds, and what we were hearing, I can only chalk up to as odd.
A Wendigo. 100%. I already knew.
What Ryan and I heard was what sounded like someone sneaking around slowly, just out of eyesight. With an animal walking on 4 legs, you hear a tighter group of steps. But what we were hearing sounded like a human walking slowly, or trying to move without making much noise. We both pulled out our flashlights and shone them in the direction we thought the sounds were coming from. But that's what's so weird. Whenever we'd fix our lights on the spot,
Revelation Files.
the sound would suddenly change, as if it was multiple people walking
That's right,
around
Goldberg.
us.
I did get a new haircut, actually, yeah.
That's when the whistling started. At first, I thought it was the wind, and I remember thinking maybe the wind is just throwing leaves around, and what we thought we were hearing was nothing but the wilderness around us.
Domesticated
Ryan
Wendigo.
looked at me and
Badass,
asked
dude.
if I was hearing it too. I didn't answer, and was trying to focus hard on each individual sound. 2 consecutive notes, with roughly a 3 to 4 second gap, and then 2 more consecutive notes, over and over.
That would make me think of the, Negan's group off The Walking Dead where they whistle.
Again. Ryan kept asking me if I heard it, and I put my finger to my lips, trying to keep him from talking. The fear I felt was incredible. My jaw was tight, my fist clenched, knowing I wasn't ready for whatever was out there, if it was anything at all.
This is what you do in this situation, especially if you're ever camping with Colin or something like that. You'd push Colin out of the tent and be like, hey, dude, it's bathroom break time. You gotta go out and take a bathroom break right now, otherwise, you're not gonna get another chance because I'm not opening the tent up again. So Colin's gonna go, he's like, fine, I'll go out to the bathroom. And then he goes out there, go to the bathroom, and then you hear him scream. There's someone out there that's murdering him. And maybe it's a creature, and now they're full, and they won't be hungry and hunting anymore. So then you're like, you can go back to sleep. You're like, okay, now I know there's a murder out there. I don't have to go out there. But if he comes back, you're like, okay, it's cool, it's chill, you know. And then you go back to sleep with a peaceful mind. I mean, either way, you're going out to sleep with a peaceful mind. So that's just what you do. Oh, I'm a big Walking Dead fan, yeah.
The whistling continued for what felt like forever. That's when Ryan finally yelled out into the darkness, "Hey!" Quiet. The whistling stopped. The crunching of the wood stopped. Nothing. I was pissed. I looked at Ryan with a what the hell look, and he shrugged his shoulders. I had to do something, he said. I just shook my head. We sat there in silence for a few minutes when the woods erupted with noise. Something or someone was running in a circle around our campsite. The whistling came back.
What's up, Mad Moose?
2 consecutive notes with the same 3 to 4 second gap, and then 2 more consecutive notes again. How could someone whistle this loudly without cracking, while running at the same time? I was done. I stood up, shining my flashlight in all directions, trying to catch a glimpse of whatever was screwing with us. Nothing. It felt close enough to touch, but we never saw a thing. That's when the movement stopped, but the whistling was still constant.
Who's out there?
It was so loud, inhumanly loud. I looked at Ryan and told him to call the police.
Call the police.
Now, this is the part I'll never forget. The part I never like to talk about. While Ryan was on the phone with the dispatcher and telling them our location and what was going on, I stepped around the fire towards my tent. Inside my bag, I had a 6-inch fixed blade that I always carried and thought I'd feel a bit more comfortable with it in my hand, more so than just with my flashlight at least. As I went to unzip my tent, trying to keep my eyes towards the woods, I heard some movement directly in front of me. I swept my light up in front of me, and for maybe 2 seconds, I saw it. Whatever this person or thing was, it was about 5 feet up in a tree. Everything about it was long. Its arms, legs, neck, fingers, everything. And it was fast. As soon as the light hit it, it launched backwards off of the tree. I heard it land, but it either jumped an impossible distance or landed in a thicket, because I heard it but never saw it. I don't think I've ever yelled so loud. I ran back to where Ryan was and sat down. He kept asking me what I saw, but I couldn't answer. I just kept thinking about it. Maybe 10 minutes later, we saw a couple of flashlight beams coming through the woods, and about 3 guys came into view asking if everything was okay. I settled a bit, and started asking them if they had seen or heard anything. All they said was they heard a lot of movement, and then heard my scream, and that's when they headed in our direction. I tried to explain what happened without sounding crazy, but it didn't seem to work.
That's right.
One of the guys walked around a bit, came back, and said he didn't see anything. Ryan told them that we had called the police, and roughly 30 minutes later, a park ranger showed up. Ryan and I tried to explain everything to him, but he just chalked it up to some curious animal or some campers trying to mess with us. Either way, Ryan and I decided we weren't staying the night.
What's up, Foxhound?
We packed our stuff up and walked out of the woods with the ranger.
You having streaming problems?
He took our statement, and we got in our car and drove home. Ryan and I don't talk about what happened that night, but neither of us have been back to Jack's River Trail, and probably never will go back.
What a bunch of cowards.
I'd like to share an encounter I had back in 2005 or 2006. I was 10 or 11 years old at the time, and it happened on my grandparents' property, out in the country near Denmark, which is southeast of Green Bay. It's a lot of farmland out there. With
Mad Moose, we were having some people on. Are you on your phone by chance? Because I know some people were saying that they were having that issue early on, and I'm not sure if they ever got it fixed. I think they did, but I'm not sure. But I think it's a YouTube thing. I'm not sure why it's doing that, but yeah, some people were having that issue.
Patches of woods. My grandparents own a few acres of land, and on the far right corner of their
make
yard,
sure that your quality is up to 720. It should be 1080p. I don't know why it's 7. Oh, that's duh. I'm so stupid. But on my stream, I'm drunk. On my stream where it says this, it should say 1080p, or it maybe even does say 720p. But my camera is 1080p, so I don't know why it would say 720. But you know what I mean. If you're set at 144p, sometimes it does that. So just be on the lookout.
Patch of woods and swamp that goes on for a bit before hitting another farm field. I was
Dusty's phone too. It must be just
my BB gun. It was a hot and muggy morning in July, and all morning outside, I just had a really feeling which I couldn't shake. It was like I was being watched, but every time I looked around the yard, I never saw anything. I just kept going back to shooting cans, when I felt the feeling again. I started scanning the tree line of the woods this time, and that's when I saw it. It was standing next to a tree, and it was absolutely massive. When I got older, I went back to that tree to try and estimate its height, and I'd say it was around 7 to 7.5 feet tall.
What's up, Julie?
The only way I can compare the body is to that of Arnold Schwarzenegger's.
32K.
It's unreal how big its shoulders, arms, and chest were. It was covered in grey fur, really shaggy and thick on parts of its shoulders and down part of its body. I know when people describe dogmen, you hear a lot of, it looked like a timber wolf standing on 2 legs, or it had the face of a German shepherd. But this wasn't like that at all. The head and face looked like a wolf. It had pointed ears on the top of its head, and its eyes were yellow, and almost seemed to glow, even in the daylight.
You're gonna see some shit, Dusty.
It was snarling its lips open, and it almost seemed to be smiling. The look and smile on this thing's face was pure evil. Sinister is the only way I can describe it. I don't recall if it had a tail or not, and I feel like the legs looked like that of a human's and not bent like a dog's. However, I was mostly looking at the head and body. After what could have only been 10 seconds, which felt like hours, without warning, it broke eye contact with me and took off sprinting to its right. It went through some really thick brush, emerging farther down the tree line, and took off into the woods. The thing is, no person could clear what it cleared in the time it did it.
Arnold Schwarzenegger versus the Dogman.
It ran probably a good 50
if he
to
can
60
beat
yards.
the Predator, he can beat Dogman.
It was all thick brush through there. Being absolutely terrified, I went back into the house and didn't go outside for the rest of the day. Funnily enough, my aunt came up to me later and said, "I heard some strange things outside last night. I've been meaning to tell you, but I didn't want to freak you out." I didn't tell her what I saw, thinking that she'd think I was crazy or making it up, but I insisted that she tell me. She said she heard a loud growling and snarling walking around the house the previous night, unlike anything she's ever heard before. I still visit my grandma's quite often, and haven't seen anything since. I haven't heard of any other reports from the area, but I know there was a Bigfoot road crossing back in the 60s or 70s,
Bigfoot.
just down the road from their house. Three nights ago, I went to hang out at a friend's house.
A fleshlight or a
20 minutes
skinwalker?
away.
Let's see which one it is.
My husband was home with our 6-year-old son, and put him to bed
Here's
around
Johnny.
9 o'clock. While I was gone, my son woke up crying and threw up in his bed. My husband sprang into action and got him cleaned up and put him in our bed, taking my son's sheets off his bed
Hell fucking
and hauling
no.
them outside.
He's
to
puking.
spray
He ain't
them
going
off.
on my bed.
It was about 10:40 p.m. at this time. And it
All I'm
all
saying is I
happened
have
less than
PTSD. I had a chick over one night and she puked up chicken wings in my bed, and it was just the most awful experience. So I don't know how I'm gonna deal with kids puking someday. I don't know. Probably not well.
5 minutes before I pulled up. Anyways, my husband goes around to the side of our house to grab the water hose and starts to drag it around to the side of the house where he was laying our son's blanket. Oh, the joys of parenting. Now bear in mind, we live out in the country in an old farmhouse surrounded by woods. He drags the hose to the area, and as soon as he stops dragging it and it's quiet, he hears, "Hey, Dad, come out of the woods about 75 to 100 feet away." My husband froze and ran into the house to make sure our son was still in bed. He was knocked out cold and happily snoozing. I pulled up about 5 minutes later and greeted him, and everything was fine until he tells me about what he heard. My husband is a pretty straightforward person. You know how sometimes you think you hear someone call your name and you're not sure? He said it wasn't like that. It was definitely, as clear as day, "Hey Dad," exactly how our son greets him, and the exact same voice too.
We're checking
left
out
a little perplexed by this. I don't know what to make of it.
Lazy Musquerde.
Is it a spirit? A creature? Is it nothing? We've had some weird stuff happen around the house before. Last year, around deer season, we had some strange lights in the wood.
If that happened to me and I'm out there and it's like, what is it, nighttime or 3 in the morning, whatever it is, and I hear someone say, "Hey Dad, it's me," or "Come here," or something, I would just, without even looking, I'd drop the hose. I'd count to 3 in my head. I'd turn around, dead sprint into the woods, and right as I hit the tree line, I'd dive. Full-on dive like a football tackle, form tackle, and hope to God I hit him. If I missed, I'm getting up swinging in 3 directions. Boom, boom, boom. And he better hope to God he wasn't in one of those 4 locations where I targeted. Because if he is, he's fucked. Whatever that Wendigo or Skinwalker is.
It's orbs. They set off our trail cam. I may still have the pictures, but that's about it. Anyways, just wanted to share my story and see what you guys thought.
Yeah, some people who are watching on their phones have been experiencing lag. I'm not sure why. I think it's a YouTube thing, or it has to be a YouTube thing because not everyone's experiencing it. So I don't know what. I don't know. It's a stupid thing. Next one up is gonna be Dogman of the UFO. Dude, it is not an easy thing to pronounce. Lazy Musquado. It's a weird name. I can't help that he chose a weird name, Lazy Musquerde. All right. Yeah, we'll probably have a little bit of a shorter stream tonight because of the lag. This will probably be the last video we do, and then we have Reddit review still, which I don't know. If there's gonna be any Reddits to review even, but we'll see what we got in there. Otherwise, we'll chill and talk for a little bit. I gotta get more beer in me. Dogman of the UFO. Okay, that's an interesting title. Oh. Okay. Yeah, no worries, Foxhound. It's doing that to some people. I'm not sure what the issue is. Hopefully it's a one-time thing.
In June 2016, Greg Newark of theweekendweird.com was contacted by a fan regarding a terrifying experience he had while camping in the mountains in southern New York. According to the witness, it was early June 2016. He and two friends, Dan and Jamie, had set off for an area in the mountain in an off-road track off the main road. They were quite deep in the woods. While not totally sure if the camping was allowed, the man guessed by the sheer number of fire pits found that people did it anyway. The day in question they had arrived, it was late afternoon. They managed to set up their tent and get a fire going. They cracked open a couple of beers and
Made
sat
some
around
stuff.
talking
Okay, cool.
until the sun went down. Not long after.
I want to see you guys have fun with that Serena one that I did with the in the woods. I don't know if you made one on that yet, but yeah, slap some woods in the background of that. Oh yeah.
Change occurred. Quote, "We all looked at each other because the woods got real quiet. You couldn't even hear crickets. Everything just went dead quiet. It felt like there was a lightning storm coming because you could feel the static in the air and all the hair on the back of my neck stood up," unquote. As they sat there taking it all in, something even more bizarre would grab their attention. One of the friends, Jamie, noted that it felt like the air around them was humming. Quote, "All of a sudden there was a real deep bass noise and this bright light in the distance that flashed up and lit up the whole woods. It looked like the light when a real big firework exploded."
Here's John. If you have another way to watch the live stream, whether it be on TV, gaming console, or maybe a tablet possibly, or a computer obviously, then that might help you out if you're able to.
For probably a minute before it split up into 3 or 4 other lights and shot back down into the trees, unquote. The three friends could see the lights glowing out in the woods, and then there was a big gust of wind, and then the lights disappeared. The witness noted that it smelled as though it just rained, even though it hadn't. Confused, the men sat waiting to see what would happen next. When nothing did, they reasoned amongst themselves
What's up, Xavier?
that the light they saw was probably something natural, namely a meteor or something along that line. Brushing it off, they returned to their chat. At around 2 a.m., they decided to turn in for the night. The witness and Jamie headed for the tent while Dan decided he was going to...
Yeah, try on PS4 and let me know how that works.
Within an hour, Dan was in the tent, shaking the...
I think it's a YouTube lag issue right now. I'm not sure if their servers are experiencing issues or what.
Back and forth as if it was trying to get a better look at him.
I built my own
He
computer.
assumed that it was a bear, but wasn't quite sure. As he sat talking, the men suddenly heard a loud scream. It sounded nothing like they'd ever heard before. Quote, "It sounded like a pig being slaughtered, but deeper, and so loud it made your ears ring." Next thing I remember was hearing 3 or 4 more things come running toward the campsite, and the embers from the fire kicking up and landing on the tent. The things, or creatures, or whatever they were, kept running up to the tent and grunting and running back into the woods. Every once in a while, one of them would scream again and pull on one of the tent poles, dragging the whole tent a foot or two. The tent was collapsing on one side, and we didn't know what else to do, so we just started screaming as loud as we could, unquote. After about a minute, everything went quiet again. Totally spooked at this point, fearing for their lives, they decided to make a break for it, charging out of their tent towards their truck. Once safely inside the vehicle, they locked the doors and started it up. They began making their way out of the area. It was then, in the headlights of their vehicle, they observed something standing in the road. Quote, "I told Jamie to gun it, and the thing straightened up and puffed up its chest. It must have been 8 feet tall, had dark gray hair all over its body except the front. That hair was white or yellow around the chest. Its face looked kind of like a dog, but not really. I know what Bigfoot looks like, and this was way different. It didn't even move when we drove at it. We had to swerve around it or we would have run right over it," unquote. The three friends drove back down the mountain and parked at a gas company parking lot. They had thought about going to the cops about what had happened, but the fact that they were camping in a spot they weren't supposed to be and the possibility they could get nailed for a DUI, as they were all quite inebriated, made them consider against it. They decided to wait up until morning when they had sobered up. When they drove back up to the spot to get their stuff, upon arriving, discovered it was gone. Everything was gone. No tent, no cooler, no nothing. Upon returning home, they told a few people about what they saw, although most people just scoffed at them, assuming that the booze had caused them to hallucinate what they saw. The author of the story is adamant that it happened, even offering to take Newark, up to the spot himself. Quote, if you want to come up and check it out, I'll take you right to the place it happened. There's still tracks from where we peeled out and lots of
NFL or college
where the tent was,
for team,
but nothing else. I don't know if it had anything to do with the lights we saw, but it was the weirdest damn thing any of us had ever experienced.
Yeah, booze definitely does not make you hallucinate. It makes you lose memory, if anything.
Greg Newark examined the case and doesn't believe that it was an alcohol-induced hallucination. Quote, first off, let's address the alcohol. Yes, it's easy to lean back and laugh about how a bunch of drunk dudes saw a monster, but when was the last time you hallucinated from drinking beer? I'm not saying they couldn't be mistaken, just that I doubt alcohol can make 3 people all hallucinate a physical attack by big hairy monsters, unquote. He also wondered if the lights and the dogman, and no doubt the creature the witness described definitely sounds like a dogman, were somehow connected. The case sounds strangely similar to the Palmyra, Pennsylvania events depicted on an episode of Paranormal Witness, in which the sighting of strange lights in the woods were followed by a sighting of a group of aggressive, upright walking canines. In another case, a man named Sean recalled a bizarre encounter he had, also involving a strange light and possible dogman. The question is, was it real? The incident occurred when he was 13. He has never been able to explain what happened. Between the ages of 11 and 13, he would occasionally sleepwalk, usually ending up in his backyard or various parts of his home. It became a serious problem as he, on a few occasions, woke up partway down the street. It was during one of these sleepwalking episodes that something very strange happened. Sean recalled that at the time it was snowing pretty heavy. He had gone to bed and dreamt that he had woken up. He strolled through the house, went out the front door, down the steps, and to the end of the driveway. Quote, at that point, it stopped snowing and a moon came out through the clouds. And I remember looking up at the moon and just staring at it for the longest time. Looking across the road right after that and seeing some type of dark shape coming toward me. At that point, at least in my mind, it was a dream. Everything kind of went fuzzy, unquote. When Sean woke up, he was back in his bed. He was barefoot. His feet were blue and freezing cold. His pant legs were noticeably wet as well. He assumed that he had done it again, sleepwalked in the night, although apparently this time he had returned to bed. He shrugged it off and began to get ready to catch the school bus. Quote, as I'm walking down the steps, I see bare footprints in the snow down the driveway, and at the end of the driveway, I saw enormous. To me, it looked like big dog prints around my feet. It didn't scare me, but it kind of struck me, and over the years, it really played heavy on my mind, unquote. Is it possible that Sean was actually abducted that night? Was the moon he thought he saw actually something else? What of the dark shape that came at him? Was it what created the large dog prints? Was this experience
big old dog man, huh?
Was it connected to a sleepwalking problem? Or was it all merely a dream? Quote, it keeps going back to that moment, and I've never really gotten an answer as to what happened to me. There weren't a whole lot of prints. Remember, they were as big as my hand at the time.
Industrial Ships here, the $2 donation, saying, hey, big deal, hope you're doing well. Thank you, Industrial. I am. Hope you are as well. Thank you for the donation, brother. Appreciate you as always.
Video about dog men.
Mexican food is bomb.
Type creatures being seen on UFOs. I made a whole video about it, so it doesn't surprise me. The Paranormal Witness episode, which featured a family harassed by an aggressive pack of wolves. Or dog
NFL team would be the Vikings.
Kind of following the UFO sighting or a sighting of a light in the woods. It really kind of like makes me wonder if there is some kind of a connection between dogmen and UFOs. I don't know.
Dogman smasher pass. Go Eagles? No, gross. Ew. No. We don't talk about the Eagles here. Alright, so we're gonna see what we got for Reddit reviews here. And then we'll chill for a few minutes and then before ending the stream. Let's see what we got here. New Dill versus chat on the probe. Old lady. Let's see. What is this? What is this? Wait, how do I read? How do I read the rest? Oh. Old lady Dill saying it's a combat stick. Everyone else saying it's a probe. So I'm the old lady in this video? What fast food place is this? It looks like a Hardee's, maybe? The Chick-fil-A?
Hey, you in the wrong place. Hey, you in the wrong place saying the N-word, though.
12 seconds later.
Oh, shit.
Oh, my God.
Dang.
That's a broken arm and maybe a couple of ribs, possibly. Oh God. Yeah, you don't go to the you don't go around saying the N-word. I mean, it's bound to happen to you. I mean, you got to learn it the hard way, the loving way, one way or another. Oh God, what is this? Smooth. This is called Smooth Dill. Okay. Like, I didn't even notice Paco. What the fuck? That scared me. I'm like, what the fuck is that? Paco was the only one at my show where I am dancing by a pole. Look at my hip movement, though. I got good hip movement. You gotta admit. That's a good one. I like that, Nick. Good job. What have I come back to? Petition for Dill to join Magic Mike. Oh, wasn't that a movie with strippers or something? And thruster on point. What is this? What the fuck is this? I don't like this. What the fuck was that? What? That was so creepy. That was so disturbing. What the fuck? How did you even make my face move like that? What the fuck? Probably copyright music anyways, but what the fuck? New cryptid. I gotta review this before I play it on screen. Fucking knew it. I fucking knew it. I just got rickrolled. I mean, I'm gonna take legal action against whoever just rickrolled me. Who is cursed body? Who just rickrolled me? Yeah, you click on this. It says we use cookies. I mean, god damn you. God damn you. I've gone like 8 years without getting rickrolled. I mean, 8 years, and then now today, of all days. You bastard. Alright, we're going for another about 10 minutes or so, and then I'm going to play some music here in the background. I forgot to upload my fucking thumbnail tonight. That's annoying. I just have my fucking channel logo as my thumbnail. Guess I'll have to use it Wednesday. God damn it. You just posted, like just now you just posted something, you mean? Okay. This is posted by Dusty and Paula. Knowledge versus wisdom. Knowledge is knowing Bigfoot is real. Wisdom is wanting to... What? Oh, Tyler. Yeah. Reload it again. I just saw this one. I have to. Dill's truck in the crew. PS me and Xavier made this. Oh, Xavier made this. You're saying? Is that actually in the video game? Or is that actually in the game? That is badass. I like it's a Ford Raptor too, because Ford Raptors are a badass fucking truck. If I could get, I don't know if I'd say any truck, but if I could get like top 5 trucks, Ford Raptors are badass looking trucks. I'm not much of a Ford guy, but I do like Ford Raptors. Good job to Xavier and Nick Oxenford. Well done. Well done. As far as who just reminded me of the Tyler. Yeah, so the other day I was sitting here and I have my LED lights, which I mean you can kind of see them if I scroll the camera. See how that's what they look like. So you can see them up there, right? And this remote here controls them. But when I click on to change colors, nothing happens. They don't like for whatever reason they're not working right now. So this remote, like I can turn them, I can do it manually on the little switch. There's a manual button that changes colors and stuff. But for whatever reason, the remote just doesn't work anymore. Just randomly. Well, anyways, that's not the weird part. The weird part is that, and I got my TV over here. I can't see. I got TV there, and then over there I got my big projector, which you can't see. But yeah, so I'm sitting here and I'm working on my computer, and the lights start flickering, like flickering, and then changing colors, and then my TV turns on by its own self, and the volume goes up and down, but not like a lot, just up and down. It goes like 15 to 16 to 13 to 15, and first I'm thinking, is someone fucking using a remote or something? But it wasn't a remote, because like if you've ever used a universal remote, it wasn't doing those at the same time. There were different timings. So if it was a universal remote and it affected those LED lights, it'd be doing that at the same time as changing the channel. But it would be like the TV would do it randomly, and then about 5 minutes later, the lights would start flickering. And it was weird shit. I'm sitting there going, what the fuck is doing that? What the fuck? It makes no sense. But yeah, I still can't. That's my paranormal story. It's a weather balloon. That actually makes sense. That actually does make sense. Now that you say that, it could have been a weather balloon. I was a little bit like, I was watching. Oh, that's when I was watching the Ted Bundy fucking documentaries. That's what I was doing, and I'm sitting there already kind of like you know, you got a little bit of that spooky feeling. I don't get scared easy, but I was kind of like in that creepy vibe, and I'm like, what the fuck? So I paused the Ted Bundy documentary and I put on a fucking music video. I was like, oh, this feels much better. But I was like, what the fuck? Look at the back of the truck. How do I look at the back of the truck? I can't see the back of the truck. Oh, I see it now. You've posted it. Cryptid Killer? That is badass, man. That is badass. Now, what you need to do is make that a video of that truck driving, like doing cool stunts, and then put that in add it with like a green screen video of me, and then make like a video out of it, Nick. That's an idea for you. Do something with, like, get footage of that motherfucker driving around, doing like cool cinematic that would be something you could do. You and Xavier. Welcome to the Come Zone. I don't know what that is. What's up, Pamela? Is there smoke-filled skies up in Iowa? Not to my knowledge, no. No, nothing like what, Northwesterners are experiencing. I just attract a weird, apparently, I guess. I don't know. Like, I'm not saying it was Ghost or anything like that, but it was weird. I could not explain it, and it wasn't a universal remote, because if you've ever used the universal, it does everything. I mean, like, if you're pointing it, but, like, the TV and that switch are so close together, like, on the same wall outlet. Like, they're connected to the same outlet, so, like, how would it not be? Just my lights and TV. Nothing else was affected by it. Nothing. Not even my my projector has like a DVR thing, and that changes channels or whatever, and that wasn't affected either. Was Paco. It could be. It could have been Paco. It could have been Paco. One set of strip lights are attached to the same outlet, and another strip are connected to a separate outlet. So both, technically. There's two sets of strip lights up here. Like, you can see where they connect. Up there. Right there. But they're connected. But one's there, one's there. So either way, if it was affecting that, and the sensor to the TV and the sensor to that, they're right next to it. There's no way it was universal remote. There's no way. Need me to come exercise some demons? Yeah. I need them out of here. Alright, Nick, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you. I can't play music during streams, otherwise I'll get copyright striked. The stream will get taken down. Unless it's copyright streak. Unless it's like what I'm listening to is royalty-free music. If it's royalty-free music, I can play it. No, because it did it several times, and it was making the lights change colors. Like, they were flipping through the colors, and then just randomly they'd start doing the different patterns to the color. It was weird. I don't know. I'm sure there's some kind of explanation to it, but I just can't figure it out. You'd be surprised when they copyright. It's not about the song, it's who owns that song, and a lot of times it's automatically just flagged, even if it's a parody song or whatever. Dude, I get copyright strikes for so much shit that I'm in background music and like the ambient music and top 5 videos or just any video. Like, it doesn't matter. Yeah, I've been off. It's been a busy week. I had obviously my tire that I get 2 new tires because I had to patch my. Oh yeah, I didn't tell you guys. I had to patch my tire, and I was able to patch it. But when I took it into the shop, they said they were unable to fix and repair the tire because it was too bald. So I had to get 2 new tires. They weren't able to get a patch job in, and so that happened. And then I had to go do a bunch of other shit and. It's been a busy week, but it was a good vacation. I'm honestly ready to get back to work. But I will miss. I'm not a morning guy. I don't like waking up at 8 o'clock in the morning. Or 7 o'clock in the morning. I mean, that does suck. If it was up to me, I'd wake up at 10:30 every morning. Sounds good, Texas Panhandle. I will see you Wednesday. Thanks for tuning in. I will always refuse to call you Alaskan Gold Rush. You will always be Texas Panhandle. Yeah, I like to stay up late. About 2 a.m. usually. Tonight, I probably won't make it till 2 a.m. I'm kind of tired, but I don't know. I got a lot of beer to drink, so. Your mom saw a large black mass walk by the kitchen window. And since she's super Mexican, she put salt all around the window. I probably, if it was me, I wouldn't do anything, probably. But, you know, everyone has their own ways of dealing with stuff. So, I mean, maybe salt around the window does work. I've never experienced it or seen it, but I've heard of people using salt. But if it was me, I mean, I wouldn't give a shit. I don't let things scare me. Unless it's a fucking shark or a spider. Those do scare me. Oh yeah, I'm the same, Ashers. I usually, on average get about 5 hours of sleep on work nights. Yeah, see, your mom needs a combat stick. That's all it is. Long brother. Tell your mom to get one of these. You get one of these, you don't need the salt around the window. Keep this by your bed. You know, put it under your pillow. And then that demon comes in, you slide it out. You turn it on. I didn't even do a large taste, so I didn't blind or deafen everyone. I just did a quick burst. I haven't looked into it, honestly, Dusty, at this point. I've been working on getting the green screen stuff done. I don't know. The movie night thing, we'd have to do a poll or something to see how many people would be interested in doing it. Because if it's only like, if it's under 10 people, there's really no point. But we have to see. Pocket didn't like that. About another 5 minutes in stream, guys, and then we're going to end it. Got any questions or comments? Now's the time. What's up, Logan? I did get a haircut. Tell all about your strange or supernatural experiences. I really don't have any, except, I mean, I've told the story 1,000 times about the shadow figure that I've seen in my apartment. Not this apartment, but one of the previous ones I lived at. And then the homeless guy, the squatter that I ran into. But that's it. That's really all I've ever had. I'll have to tell about it in a different stream. It's kind of a long story, so I don't have time to do it right now, but the squatter story was honestly more scary to me. The ghost, the shadow figure, whatever you want to call it, was definitely pretty spooky, but that one was weird. Basically, just saw a big giant black figure that was in my apartment and at like 3 a.m. No, it would have been like 3:30 a.m. And it just vanished to the floor, like as I was leaving. But there's more to it than just that. But it's pretty wicked, man. I guess I should start getting out my links. So be sure to follow me on Twitter. How's Paco doing with school? He's doing okay. He's doing okay. He's abducted 2 children from his class, but that's expected. I didn't get mad at him for that. I don't care what he does with his life. And then join the Reddit. If you have not joined either of these, you should join them now. I do post updates to Twitter. I do post content to Twitter that I do not post to YouTube, so be sure to follow me on Twitter for that. But yeah, with that out the way, guys, I am going to head out. So for everyone who tuned in tonight, I appreciate you. Let me translate this. That means, yeah, I translated what he said and it doesn't make any sense on Google Translator. But anyways, puta. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna head out. Thank you for tuning in. If you get the coronavirus, make sure to wash your booties. Do not die. That would be bad. And stay away from cryptids. Stay away from Bigfoots. Unless there's Bigfoot babies, then you can follow the Bigfoot babies around because they're less violent. If you see any skinwalkers, if you see Serena, especially Serena the Skinwalker, make sure to give them a kick in the shins. But yeah, guys, I'm out. Take care. Peace. Love you.